Expect hazy, hot, humid conditions on Thursday with a few showers and storms developing. Well, today's high in Knoxville was 93 degrees today. Was expecting 95. We did see that in Oak Ridge, but 88 is the normal high, so we were literally 5 degrees above normal. Started the morning off at 71 degrees just after 6 o'clock this morning. 90 was the high in Newport, 95 Oak Ridge, 93 in Athens. Our friends in Cumberland County coming in at 90. But 90-degree days in Knoxville. Now, again, above average year, certainly more than last year, because last year we had all of 18 days. But this year we're now on par with the average for the whole season, which we still have a lot of summer left, no doubt, so we're going to continue on this path. But we had 5 days now in August, 15 days July, 2 weeks of 90 in June, but nothing in May, so that brings us to that 34-day total. This comes by way of our friends at the National Weather Service in Morristown. Well, I mentioned there'd be about a 20% chance of rain today, primarily in the Plateau and Smokies. So if you look toward Kingsport, you look toward Jamestown, and if we do a review over the last 8 hours, you can see it coming down from the northeast. And this is loosely related to our friend known as Debbie, which we'll look at here in a moment, but even some storms around Crossville, Cumberland County from earlier this evening. The Ultimate Doppler Radar presented by Marco's Pizza. Go to marcos.com if you're hungry for a late night snack or dinner if you haven't had it yet. Hardin Valley, Farragut, they have locations in Maryville, Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, as well as Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road. Check out the Pepperoni Magnifico for less than $10. It's delicious. And if you're looking for a great lunch idea, perhaps tomorrow for less than $6, you could grab a pepperoni and sausage or a chicken bacon ranch. They are all so delicious. The radar picture showing that Debbie storm on the southeast side of us, back across the Carolinas. But it's also bringing in that northeasterly wind, which is, again, its character of this storm moving to the north. Meanwhile, more thunder out west and more activity across southeastern sections of Georgia. So if we hone in on our friend known as Debbie, she is slowly crawling across the southeast. We're talking about maximum rain amounts in South Carolina estimated to be 20 to 25 inches. Can you imagine? We get a little more than, 40 inches in a year. So they're getting more than half of a year's worth, 6 months worth of rain in some cases in just a few short days. And South Carolina, they have most, but 15 inches expected in southeastern North Carolina. So it's been a real nightmare situation for them. I wanted to change gears and show you the future smoke and how a tropical storm can interact with the vertically integrated smoke. This is not all smoke at the surface. This is for the entire column of air, and those yellow areas may be more moderate. We're kind of shaded in gray here, so this is on the lighter side of the ledger, but it does push a lot of that smoke out of the picture in places like Charlotte, Asheville, North Carolina, but even still, there's more smoke, more wildfires out west across perhaps the Pacific Northwest, and it tries to drift in this direction in the coming days. We'll keep a watchful eye on that. As far as the additional rain from Debbie, could be 2, 3, 4, 5 inches in parts of the Tar Heel state of North Carolina, and can't rule out 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in interior sections of Pennsylvania and upstate New York. While we do get some rain down the road, this takes us through August 23rd, maybe a third of an inch. There's not going to be a whole lot of rain, but what we do get, most of it, it'll come from something other than Debbie. It'll come from another storm system later on. Tropical Storm Debbie, 8 o'clock update, winds are at 60. Now last night at this time, it was 40. I said once it moves over open water, it could strengthen. So now this is going to have its greatest impact tonight around Myrtle Beach, because that northeast quadrant of this circulation center is going to be where the most of those winds will be. So Myrtle Beach will get pounded with some strong winds. Of course, they have saturated soils, and trees could come down, more power outages, the real mess. But by the time we hit Thursday afternoon, it should be north of Florence, and then work its way as a tropical depression. It weakens over land with winds around 35 miles per hour, projected there at 2 a.m. Friday. Again, this is the cone from the National Hurricane Center, just a little bit closer view. You can see Knoxville on the left side of this map, not a factor, as the center of circulation heads up toward Hagerstown, Maryland, to the east of Altoona, Pennsylvania, works its way toward Montreal by Saturday, and could emerge back over cooler waters up in the northern Atlantic. But this is clearly not an issue for us, and so we will basically say that we did not have the impact of Debbie like our friends to the south and to the east. Lots of 20% there, but that's a 20% chance in the Pacific. The Hurricane Center has removed any areas of interest in the Gulf of Mexico, so beyond Debbie on the horizon at this time. But we don't want to let her guard down, because history teaches us late August, early September typically is when the activity ramps up. So if it does pick up pace Don't be surprised. We've got Ernesto, the next name on the list. It'll be followed up by Francine and Gordon, perhaps, in the coming days and weeks. Tracking the clouds in the radar, you can see that storm system known as Debbie that's also creating rain around Charleston, West Virginia, and coming down from central Kentucky under that northeasterly wind. But here are the headlines. Showers and storms develop Thursday. I left a 30% chance, but if you're near the Smokies and foothills, it may be closer to 40%. Will be a better chance of rain tomorrow, I think, in parts of East Tennessee. But we're still watching Debbie from a distance. Few storms possible on Friday, but Saturday is one of those aha moments where you have less humidity, nothing but wall-to-wall sunshine as the leftovers of Debbie fade away from view. And you can see that very well on the humidity tracker. The green ooze represents high dew points, and it's covering all of the map. But watch what happens. We hit midday Friday. It's already left St. Louis, Missouri. And if you take it even a step further to 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, the humidity has dropped in many areas. But by the time you wake up, by the time I wake up Saturday morning, there's no humidity. It's really dropped from the picture, and it'll stay pretty low heading into the rest of the weekend. So I think you're going to like this weekend. If you're going to be maybe camping in the Smokies, it'll be one of those nice, refreshing breaks from the humidity. Storm Prediction Center is still highlighting some areas around Debbie that could produce severe weather. Talking about Jacksonville, North Carolina, Greenville, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and Richmond, Virginia for scattered severe storms. Nothing going on here as far as thunder in their view. Storm Prediction Center keeps us void of any light green, which would be general thunderstorms. But it's interesting to see the Futurecast take this storm up toward Columbia as we head into midday tomorrow. A couple of showers may squeeze over the Smokies, as this will be the closest pass of us. By Friday, it should be north of Roanoke. And so it begins to lift away, but it'll bring down some more showers. So on Friday, I left a 30% chance as well. So the next 2 days, if you get a brief shower, consider yourself lucky or blessed, because it's not going to last into the weekend. It stays nice and dry both Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a chance of some precipitation early next week. Future visibility with fog a possibility. Well, you could see this develop by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, if not sooner. So some patches of fog can be anticipated. Let's get to your forecast. As we head to tonight, it's going to stay stuffy. That I fully expect. Lows in the low 70s. Low about 72. Scattered clouds. Any showers that are still out there will fade. Patches of fog will replace it. Thursday, 91. Hazy, hot, and humid. And a 30% chance for showers and storms. But the winds pick up. 5 to 15 plus. As Debbie moves 12 to the east toward the I-95 corridor. 92 for high in Oak Ridge is what I expect, but could be significantly cooler for Sevierville, Pigeon Forge in the low to mid 80s. About 88 for Newport, 88 for La Follette, about 93 for Kingston and Athens. That's my expectation. So as far as the forecast is concerned, I want to check out the Captain Accurate Weather app. Don't forget Pete Michaels Traffic. One of the cool things about the app is that you get all the National Weather Service alerts, plus you get 3 extras. That's not something you see every day. And of course, you get the information you need and when in a timely manner. I did make a post about the 1-year anniversary of the tornado that hit West Knox County. You might want to check out that post. I'm very happy to have that presented to you, but happy to say that the twisting storm approaching alert that's on the app, that did go off on that day on August the 7th of 2023. So again, getting notifications, very important, and it's important to get multiple sources of information like a NOAA Weather Radio as a secondary or maybe a possible alternative. Here's your Captain Accurate 7-day forecast. 89 for Friday, 87 for Saturday and Sunday. I think the skies will be nothing but blue now on Saturday before we're back to near 90. If not Monday, certainly close to a Tuesday with a chance of rain developing by middle of next week. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Thank you so much for being here. We'll have more updates still to come. But if you haven't checked out the premium service, just hit the subscribe button. You can get more weather information that goes beyond the next 7 days. Check us out. And don't forget Pete Michaels Traffic. He's on the app, so you get weather and traffic perfect together. See you soon.